for my second pick and the third pick of the Sunday six-pack, I'm going with the Houston Texans minus 6.5 at BetMGM at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got this, follow me in the Action app. I got this at 6 early in the week. I make it over 7. But Bill O'Brien, he's gone. I don't have to back Bill O'Brien. Now it's Romeo Crennel. So what I did this week is I went back and I looked historically at what teams have done the week after they fired their coach in season. It's happened 28 times since 2003. I went into our Bet Labs database and pulled all of the results. Those teams went 12-16 straight up and 14-14 against the spread. You might say, well, that's horrible. Well, it's a 43% win percentage. Well, you have to remember that the coaches got fired. These are usually bad teams. Those teams had a 27% win percentage prior to the coaching change, and they were 38% against the spread. On average, they closed as 4.5, 5-point underdogs. That implies a win probability of about 35%. So over 28 games, 35% win probability, you expect to win about 9.8, 10 games. Well, they won 12. You might say, well, there could be outliers in there skewing that. So I went back and just looked at all the closing spreads, calculated the implied win probabilities, and they won 12 games, and they were implied to win about right around 10. So they won 2 more games than they were projected to. A lot of noise in that, small sample size, but it does hint at the fact that for just that next game, there is a positive bump to the team after a coach change. You could say it's morale, right? We wanted Bill O'Brien gone. Maybe the locker room gets better. Maybe. But I think it's more just, okay, we can correct some things, some play calling things, some basic things, and more importantly, new looks. So you're going to have some new looks. You're going to try new things that other teams don't have film on you for that one game, right? So you have a new coach. You're going to mix up your play calling. You're going to try different things. It's your first game as a new coach. So it's harder to prepare for you from a game plan perspective. So I think that it does work in the Texans' favor, especially from what I've seen from Bill O'Brien. Like last week, he's running the ball, not attacking the Vikings' young secondary. Just the in-game decisions, the strategic decisions, the play calling, been bad. So I think removing him out of the equation is only going to help. We won't even get into his GM decisions. I mean, this team's 0-4, and the Dolphins have their first 2 draft picks this coming year. But then on the surface, this Jags team stinks. Look, the first week, they beat the Colts. We talked about it. They got outgained by 200 yards. Lucky win. Minshew magic's over. They got dominated by the Dolphins. They got dominated by the Bengals. Their defense is horrendous. This is the worst defense in the NFL, and it should be. They got rid of all their good players. Miles Jack's playing at a really high level. I have to give him credit, but he's hurt. He might not even play. Henderson, their rookie corner, he's playing okay for rookie, but he might not play. He's hurt. They have their defensive line is terrible. Outside of Josh Allen trying to create some pressure, it's just a horrible defense. I mean, they have other corners that are hurt. You might see Clay Brooks in there, a 7th-round draft pick who's more of a return man. He got abused last week by Cincy, who just did whatever they wanted against Jacksonville. And Jacksonville also made Cincy's offensive line look competent. This is a bad team, a bad defense. Give me the Texans, anything under 7, in a good spot here at 0-4. Remember, they have played the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Ravens to start the year. And they've got – look, the defense is bad and has question marks, but they've had no luck. They've had no turnovers so far. They played good teams. They're the only team in the NFL without a turnover. The schedule's going to ease up. They're going to get some turnovers. Red zone regression is going to happen. Give me the better quarterback, the better offense that should be able to attack this Jacksonville defense at will. Should come out inspired under a new coach, 0-4 against a bad team. I'm sure Minshew Magic will have something up his sleeve, but he hasn't been great the last couple weeks. This has the potential to get ugly. Give me Houston.
Yeah, this one scares me. It's like Jacksonville is not very good. I think Minshew is actually pretty good, or he's decent, I should say. If you look at his overall efficiency numbers, he's had a rough week or 2 here and there, but that Miami game was bad with the center out, and the center Winder may still be out, which could be big. I think Cam Robinson.
Tackles hurt. Too.
Yeah,
they have
Cam
a lot
Robinson. But Houston, worries me at this point too. I don't know. Like Romeo Crennel is just not a guy that like inspires much confidence. He's actually lost his last 4 against the spread, 3-8 in his last 12. I mean, this game could go so many ways, and DVOA. And again, I think early in the year, even with the schedule adjustment, it's gonna be hard to get the full capture, just how tough Houston's schedule was. But Jacksonville's 15th in overall DVOA, and Houston's 21st. Jacksonville's number 6 on offense. Houston's 20th. This I don't know what to expect from Houston. J.J. Watt called out O'Brien. Apparently, that's what led to the firing. So I think you will see energy and effort from Houston, but I also don't think this is a gimme game either. You also have that, the spot with the 16-4 ATS with, road teams going to visit a winless home team. So I don't know what to expect for this one. It's probably a stay away for me unless the line just gets like crazy to like 7, 8, or to like 8 or something like that. I may try Jacksonville, but at this number, I get it. Houston should get a bump here, but I don't know what to expect from this team. And Jacksonville's not really that consistent week over week either. So this is kind of a high range of outcomes game for me.
I just am very confident the Texans' offense is going to go off. I mean, they made Ryan Fitzpatrick look like a Hall of Famer. He was doing whatever he wanted in that first half. Their numbers are kind of skewed as well. They got lucky against the Colts. They still give up 500 yards. They put up a bunch of points coming back against the Bengals. But remember in that Titans game, everyone's like, they played the Titans close. The Titans haven't been great this year, by the way, if you look at their results. They're 3-0 by 6 total points. But the Titans, they put up a ton of yards in the second half. The Titans' entire secondary got hurt that game. The Jaguars have had breaks. They put up a lot of garbage yards. It's just this defense. Deshaun Watson should eat. He's not going to be under a ton of pressure against this Jacksonville team. Yeah. And he's going to be able to – you're going to have huge plays in the passing game. And I'm removing O'Brien. So give me the Texans.